just got interested.
Prepare for battle.
Welcome to game number 1.
I love trumpet.
Between Gaimin Gladiators and Evil Doraccio?
Welcome to Doraccio.
Doraccio!
Says Evil Geniuses.
My goodness.
He was looking for something and he found it, but not what he was looking for.
Doraccio.
Trying to fish some vision.
That was unexpected.
Yeah. Oh, and they get the D ward as well here.
Oh my goodness.
Off to a good start to EG.
Not only that, but C Smile was the one with first blood, so Quinn's going to have a... Well, it is a good matchup for Quinn, but...
he should still be okay.
Okay, well,
let's talk about the stakes of this game really quickly before we get into it. So if Gaimin Gladiators win, they tie for second with Bet Boom, and they would be playing tomorrow. If Gaimin Gladiators lose, they tie with Talon and EG, and they would be playing both tomorrow.
Yep.
So no matter what, Gaimin Gladiators are playing tomorrow. It's just a matter of, are you playing for upper bracket or survival?
Indeed. Celery.
Celery's playing for survival.
He's dead. 2 kills for EG. The bounty runes are split. But yeah, very good start for EG.
Smile got both kills.
We get to see Pangolier again. Diffusal carrier against that Morphling, kind of the... You want to look at it this way, the older school counter.
Yep.
To Morphling. Older school meaning 2 weeks ago. Wasn't working then, though.
It's been a long 2 weeks. Everything has changed.
Morph is losing now, in general. Usually to AM. But Void has been like the number 2 choice, I feel like, from a core standpoint.
So... Well, with this 2-0 for C Smile, he should be doing pretty well for himself in mid. I think Quinn is still going to be able to float this lane and maybe draw, but probably not pull ahead of Pango in net worth. That would be quite the accomplishment in the first 5 minutes. However, the hero I want to focus on the most in this game is Whisper on the Batrider, because this guy, for me, is perhaps the best offlane Batrider in the world. There's been a phase where this hero wasn't really particularly popular. EG would pick it and he would just go beyond godlike, absolutely crushing his lane, snowballing the game. And he was playing when other bats were going like Travels, BKB, Whisper was going Tranquil Boots Drum. And he would literally just go hyper aggressive, run at people in the mid game. And this game he has a bounty hunter to play with. So maybe we'll see that style out of him in this game. I'm very curious, but this hero is pretty hit or miss as an offlaner. Let's see if he can hit this time.
Yeah, I haven't really gotten to see too much of him in the past couple weeks, at least.
It's not
a little bit more popular in the earlier stages of
Tofu.
The patch as Tofu ticking away slowly to that time dilation, but will outlive it. But bottom lane, Matthew gets up on the Fairy Fire, will go down to Doraccio. Celery getting dove under the tower by Whisper. It's going to take quite a while for him to go down.
He might actually die.
Might actually drop. He's going to try to go for the courier before his death, but he will not get it in time.
Yeah, not sure how Matthew got in kill range.
Meanwhile, mid lane, Quinn bottling up. See Smile. Not going to get the kill. Still with the Shadow Strike applied. And,
immediate bottle refill.
Well, his bottle actually wasn't empty, though.
For both teams.
Yeah.
This mid lane is important. Matthew is going to cover this rune. Celery will realize.
And this is the hero that started out, and I remember vividly, one of the few things I remember vividly, Cinderin.
Yep.
Is the bounty hunter at the beginning of 7.33 was insanely good, especially on Matthew in the laning stage.
Yep.
Would win the game for EG a lot of
I remember this vividly as well. It's like it was less than a month ago. It's truly...
Yeah.
It's truly
We forget
incredible.
a lot of things in a month.
We do. But yeah,
but since
that's
then,
the other hero player combination in this game. I mean, there's actually multiple hero player combinations on EG in this game. I think Pakaz on the Void has also been looking really good. So.
Yeah.
And for Gaimin Gladiators side, it's trademark all across the board except Celery on the Lion, which isn't exactly their first, second, third, or fourth choice for this guy, but in this game they see the value against the Bounty Hunter, or against the Void in particular. But yeah, Quinn's co-op, Ace on the Timber, Duracho Morph, also trademark heroes for them. And
But why do you think Bounty has fallen off, though, in this patch?
good question. I guess players have become more observant about gate rotations and they get caught off guard less. Because obviously the hero's snowball potential comes from that early pressure. He doesn't find the kills. That's one thing. The other thing is, in the flow of the game in many of the series has been slower. And once the game starts slowing down, Bounty Hunter becomes a worse pick because he doesn't offer as much if you're not very kill hungry as a team.
Going back to your first point, I think in addition to the gate, it's not. I don't think it was just the gates. It's the entire new patch. People are trying to process this.
Yeah.
They can't even begin to fathom a hero coming into them invisibly, constantly from everywhere around the map. Now they're used to it. Now it's second nature. Of course, not the bounty runes. They still haven't figured that one out in this patch. As Whisper with the Firefly into Duracho.
He will be fine.
He'll be able to shift into strength and fine.
The main high-impact Batrider performances we've seen from Whisper was on the old Bat, where you would max the sticky napalm, generally speaking. Now, most of the time, Bats are maxing out the Firefly, which makes for a different dynamic. You slow the enemy less, but you deal more reliable damage over time. Okay, that was...
Tofu with the concussive shot into the Impale. Matthew is done for.
Very well prepared there from Gaimin Gladiators with the Sentry, with 3 heroes. Really trying to shut down Matthew and not allow him to run the show. It's, like you pointed out, he has ever so many times on that hero. Seasmon made, as expected against Quinn, this is pretty much a draw. Because Pango had 2 kills before the lane started. So that's the good news for EG here. And honestly, more or less, the only truly good news is this bot, or is this mid lane, because Bat is losing bot. The Void is definitely not looking too hot top either. It's not terrible, but Ace with the 21 and 11 is having a free time on his Timber Saw. We'll see. We'll see how long Pakaz actually gets to feel comfortable in this lane, because one thing about this matchup, historically speaking, is that Void would actually just sit in lane against Timber, and whenever he would spam his spells, you'd do this. But Timber does more right-click damage now, since he's a universal hero.
Yep,
so,
a good old universal stat.
So the harassment is actually going to be more meaningful against the Void over time, as these attacks do start to... I guess Timber right now in this game probably has 20 more damage than he did in 732, which becomes meaningful pretty quickly. Matthew again, he's dusted.
Impale is there.
And he's done.
And I'm going to try to give this to Quinn, and they do so.
They are really not
6-minute rune is top, though, so C-Smile will be able to snag the haste.
A good rune on Pango. Allows him to stick on his targets without using ult. So he could maybe run down, take some unsuspecting support, or an unsuspecting Quinn.
Yep. Making use of exactly that, although he's tanking a lot, we'll have to use his ult, but
blood grenade.
The blood grenade actually gets the kill. C-Smile, be careful! That's a lot of damage coming in. Remember, he's not completely immune to magic. So between the right clicks and the magic spam, Gaimin Gladiators able to get a trade that they probably shouldn't have gotten.
Officer, I promise I forgot my license at home. Oh boy, that was...
That's not... How is that something anyone says to the cops?
Scanning.
I forgot my light. Like, what does that even mean?
He was clearly not a capable driver, but come on.
You're really showing that you don't have a license.
What do you mean?
Maybe they do things different in Denmark.
Now, what would happen if you didn't have your license and you got pulled over by a cop?
I wouldn't say I forgot it.
What would you say then?
I'd say I'm fucked. Say, please put down the gun, sir.
Yeah, we do things differently in Denmark. You're right, actually.
Oh, that's a lot of bursts. They have enough before the hex ends, so Pakaz takes the tumble. Please, officer, lower the fire. God.
Well, that's going to be a level 6 for the Timber Saw, and this is actually pretty bad news for Pakaz, because not only is he getting out-leveled, but this opens the door for more ganks with maybe just the Skywrath. I'm not sure Lion is even going to be necessary for the next kill. Between the Silence as well as Timber's massive damage output.
Oh, we have the Ancient Seal. Quinn does have Sonic Wave, but they just haven't done enough damage for him to get bursted through. But Quinn, okay, he blinks for the double damage, but now that he's done that and used a Sonic Wave, C-Smile gets a nice opening with his ult. The perma-stun is not quite there, but their swashbuckle is enough to get that kill.
Connected that one on Celery as well. I was wondering if they had any follow-through, but not enough mana on Panda there to maybe go for a secondary, but they got the primary kill they were looking for. Good news there for EG in the mid lane, but of course, the looming threat. How many games have we cast this week of absolute free farm Morphling? It is many.
Yes.
And it will be one more after this game. The question is if EG have the tools to deal with it.
Zealot getting chased.
Gonna have to
no bash.
Kill probably.
Yep, he will do exactly that. And he'll take his time. As Ace now completely surrounded. You can see the time dilation finally wearing off, but that is a very annoying spell to work against if you're Ace. He is tanky enough to withstand everything, though, despite not having anything more than... Is he actually going to finish the Vanguard? We've been seeing kind of different iterations now that they've changed the whole Vanguard not being able to disassemble into the Octarine. Looks like he will still finish it. Went for the Soul Ring first.
Yeah, what do you go in this game? Vanguard into probably just straight Lotus? Isn't that just amazing here? Track, Lasso. I think that's already enough reasons to get a Lotus, I think. Maybe it's still going to be Octarine before. We'll see. Quinn.
It's on to Matthew. Doesn't have Sonic Wave.
They are really putting a lot of emphasis on shutting down Matthew's bounty. This is clearly something they talked about pre-game.
And I think Winter talked about it. If this hero or the team in general it doesn't get off to a decent start, bounty can fall off so hard.
Yeah.
Like if he's like way behind, sure, if you get like a great team fight with track kills, you can catch up, but otherwise, he feels quite useless. Basically like a creep in a lot of these games when just hasn't found the impact early on.
And it might be time to hunt some couriers for Matthew sometime soon.
By the
way, I want to point out, Ace hasn't skilled Whirling Death. I feel like that's very rare in this tournament on Timber. He's 0-4-2 build on the Timber.
Interesting.
Maybe this is a specific thing against Faceless Void that you do, but most players will maybe even skill at level 1 in many matchups. So curious to see when he's going to put that point, if it's going to be a level 8 thing, or if it's going to be a level 10 thing, or level 11 even. He values the talent higher. I think he shouldn't, but...
Yep, that's probably the first time I've ever seen that.
It's like
Dota.
I feel like you're missing out on a lot of potential damage they could have had with 1-3-2.
Thunder, I hear it. See Smile. Yeah. He's going to be able to get Ace initially. Whisper has Lasso, but... Actually, no, he doesn't. He hasn't leveled it yet. Okay, I don't know how they were going to get that kill.
he has a free skill point.
Oh, he's still holding it? Okay.
Radiant's middle tower is under
Maybe he
attack.
realized that Ace hadn't skilled Whirling Death and he's looking to one-up him by not skilling Lasso. I think that is the more creative build of the two.
It's the more impactful spell.
Yeah.
Well,
Radiant's middle tower is
Whisper
under
goes
attack.
through the gate, finds a Doraccio.
Man, he is...
But Whisper's pretty tanky.
How is Doraccio 2k ahead of 4?
That's after getting first blooded.
It's 30 CS. I mean, it kind of checks out.
Dire's
30
top
CS
tower
and
is
the kill
attack.
score. But EG have more
Radiant.
bounty runes.
Yeah.
Very good. The narrative is
Easy peasy.
to Dire favored on the runes here. This is a fast diffuse on Pango, by the way.
They do have a bounty hunter as well. That's one benefit. You have this guy roaming around
Radiant.
constantly,
Very
so
good
you
for
will be
bounty
getting
runes.
those bounties.
Fun fact, actually named after that hero.
No, I think the hero was named after the bounty.
No, he invented the rune.
Sure. That wasn't on the Jeopardy.
You wouldn't know what was on the gym.
I don't remember anything.
Clearly, that is... You also didn't remember anything during the game.
Cause in the trees. He's going to get the Chronosphere off.
Stolen shot
Find
from?
themselves, yeah.
Well, gets challenged first.
And Finger of Death, the beautiful turnaround as Celery was hiding in the trees the whole time. They do get Tofu, but definite favor going the way of Gaimin Gladiators. Panda will fall as well. See Smile left all alone, but Whisper has come. Still, okay, finally levels Lasso, and just as he does, he gets initiated up and bursted to the ground as Doraccio now with the triple kill. Now they're chasing C-Smile. I don't think they can go any further, though. And he did skill it finally, Cinderin. It has 2 levels, in fact.
Yeah, that was a big part of the combo there, that he did put the point into it, so they took the fight in the tree line. Did massive damage on that burst through. Batrider didn't get to play. So this Chrono is actually pretty good from Pakas because you know he's getting flanked by the lion, so if he doesn't do this here, he's just going to die with nothing getting off, but Panda didn't have quite enough in the tank to get the kill on Tofu initially.
Yeah, he saw Celery, right? I thought he was going to run to the other side of the Chrono, like the outskirts, so he wouldn't get stunned by Celery. I think he had the opportunity to do that potentially.
And then this from Whisper shows up, spotted by Lion, and then, yes, the rest was not safe
Okay,
for work.
Pakaz dies to Quinn's Sonic Wave.
Screams out of joy in the river.
The Ancient Seal is amazing.
It's godly, this game.
Absolutely amazing.
I love Tofu maxing it here as well. I think he's recognizing that any teammate he combos up with really benefits from this a lot, I guess aside from the Timbersaw. But yeah, either with Quinn, with Dyrachyo, with Celery, it's making the difference. This massive amp, the long silence on Bat, Pango, and Void is just incredible. Maximum value here. Dyrachyo, in the meantime, is just having the freest game ever as they're dominating the map.
I mean, the good thing about Gaimin Gladiators lineup, they have so much burst. And if you look at EG's lineup, they're not particularly tanky. Like, a lot of them rely on their skills to be tanky, like the Time Walk or the Shield Crash. Otherwise, like, all 5 of these heroes can be bursted. Whisper probably the tankiest of them because he picked up a Vanguard.
Yeah, and we were talking about Whisper's like history on this hero of being dominant. Maybe you can't really go for that build very much anymore as an offlaner. I figured if we were going to see it, it would be him. But he's also sticking to the stock standard Vanguard Octarine build on Bat. And it's a bit slower, and it makes me like the pick a little bit less for EG because I think his absolute biggest strength from this hero comes from the snowball aspect, but I guess they just recognized they couldn't do it in this game with the lane matchup they had.
Matthew finally level 6. This could be their first track kill.
It is.
Celery deletes Matthew first. Still Trax has to worry about his alter ego stealing the ult, and Ace runs out of mana thanks to the defusal from C-Smile.
So they did get a track kill after all.
Yeah. Hey, a bounty rune for the Radiant.
Oh. He stumbled upon it. This was not deliberate. He walked up there to ward and he was like, oh, right. Your Radiant, you can also find these.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Yeah, looking very good for the Gladiators right now.
Oh, another combo.
Smile.
Mystic Flare's enough. Ancient Steel setting up so many kills, and the fact that you just have 2 supports that can get kills by them just with each other. You have one stun with a Hex on top, and Tofu can take care of the rest. And even the Finger of Death for more burst.
Here. He is not going to be able to get this D ward, but he knows it's there now. So yeah, that's the exact part of why Skywrath is so good in this draft is the pairings. It makes such a huge difference for you to play with these kind of heroes.
Racked up, Whisper with the Flame Break. Gets the Ancient Steel up onto the bounty, but Tofu will finally go down.
Almost died to a Wild Wing there. That would have been a disaster. On Nurse Spike.
Chrono with a swashbuckle from afar. They're focusing on Quinn. Time dilation as well. Flame Break, that's enough.
Despite popping the shield rune, they actually killed him 1.5 times there. Got him down.
Top tower is under attack.
Wait, shield rune gives you 50% of current health on activation, right? Not of max health.
I watched that Jenkins DHL video.
I think that was a pretty weak shield. I don't think that was a half max HP shield there.
Radiant's middle tower.
Hey, look at that. 50% max HP.
No way. Can we get a replant? How the hell did they kill him through that? Because it looked like it was going to be close without the rune, and then he got the rune off and still died.
Dire's bottom tower is under
They don't
attack.
have a dispel.
All right, let's watch it.
So,
oh yeah, look at that old. They still haven't added a particle to track. It's
wow, that
still
shield just disappeared instantly.
Do they have a dispel on their team?
No, they must have just done some insane damage that I didn't notice there, but they got through it. All right.
All right.
Nice kill for EG there. Well worth the chrono.
Track still uses Alchemist's acid bottle as the projectile. That's insane to me. After all,
I think Harpoon still shoots out an error message.
Yeah,
as its projectile.
That sounds right. And Morphling's still in the game, so
yeah,
that model.
Radiant are scanning.
After that blog post, sounds like that one's never getting. That one's with us till the end.
And an error in itself.
Yeah.
Zero.
See, Smile. It's off the shield crash. Oh, but they're gonna find a Batrider instead. Is the Mystic Flare? Okay, they used 3 ults to kill him. Let's see if that's worth it. The ult from C-Smile does net them a support in the form of Celery as Ace onto the high ground. Not Not really afraid of anything as Matthew stumbles right into most of Gaimin Gladiators and is going to pay. As it sounded like the Rubik stole Sonic Wave.
He did. Used it on the Morph, but not nearly enough.
Dyrachyo chasing Panda now that he has a lot of strength stolen.
Radiant's middle tower
And that's one thing that we've
attack.
seen consistently is when Morphling is picked, Rubik is going to be on the other team. Also a very old school counter. Well, I wouldn't even call it a counter, but
Not really. It's just a good matchup. I guess that's the way to put it. You're not beating out Morph, but he's making your game better.
But Rubik, in theory, is good against Morph because of that, plus the Fade Bolt being percentage-based damage mitigation, or
I mean, maybe
attack
you could call it
reduction.
a counter.
A counter feels like, I don't know.
A bit extreme, maybe.
Matthew is just respawn, going to die, but there's the lasso. Dyrachyo is fine, making this more exciting than it should be because it is a Morphling after all. No misclick for Dyrachyo. There's the Hex. Coming after Celery. Mystic Flare as well. That's enough to burst down C-Smile. And another silence, this time reserved for the tanky Rubik. Not tanky enough this time around. Pakazi wants to fight. He gets Hex. I don't know if they have enough to actually burst him through. And he's going to get silenced, and he will be bursted through. So Pakazi with an interesting decision to join the fight after two of his teammates had already died.
He time walked in and
Gonna pay.
started his chrono animation, then he canceled it because he didn't like the cast that he was going to get, and then he didn't get to play his hero afterwards. Hex into Earth Spike into Skywrath Silence.
Has fallen.
Just too easy here for the Gladiators, and just really loving their draft in action. They're just playing super aggressive. They're not letting EG set the pace of the game. They are willingly non-stop fighting into Bounty Hunter, which is usually what this hero wants. Like, he wants to take scrappy fights. He wants to trade kills away so he can get the track running, but the trades are just way too Gaimin Gladiators favored. This Batrider, I said to look out for this hero in the game for Whisper if he was going to come up big or not, has just really not impressed this game. Hasn't been able to really find much. A couple of his lassos haven't even led to kills. And maybe part of the problem for EG is their follow-up really good enough? Because usually what you draft with Batrider is some sort of burst, right? So that when you lasso, you kill the target, but they don't have burst. They have a Fade Bolt and a Swashbuckle. On the other side, like let's say Batrider was coupled with a Skywrath this game, then all of a sudden you lasso someone, you full Skywrath combo them, and they die 100-0. You would be able to kill the Queen of Pain. You would be able to kill the Morphling, even if you caught him off guard. But their heroes just can't get it done. Gaimin Gladiators are going to keep ramping up big items. Kaya Sanjo and Quinn. They've got the... They just completed something more, I believe. What was it? So the Lion just grabbed his dagger before that fight. The Timbersaw has Lotus and almost an Octarine now as well. So the heroes are starting to accumulate a ton of health. And that is a problem for EG's heroes to deal with.
That should help.
Will be struggling to find the picks that they want. Speaking of health, Panda has a lot of that. For now.
Yeah.
Now he doesn't have that much.
Put their burst to the test. Easy kill. 7k lead for Gaimin,
Is under
and I'm
attack.
sure they're thinking about Roche relatively shortly.
Yeah.
They don't have the best team for taking it, but with this kind of a lead, I think it's relatively safe, although they have to worry about Chrono. But then at the same time, the panel did talk about they don't really have a Chrono into anything.
Yeah.
Like if they had even just a Skywrath, that's something.
Absolutely.
They don't have anything to go with it, just a swashbuckle, really.
And it makes you wonder when the draft began, right? So what was the pick order? So first pick was Timber, and then EG picked, was it Bat Rubik? Or was it? I think it was Bat Rubik, right? It was Bat Rubik? Yeah, it was. So that could have been Bat Sky. That's a hero EG have played a lot themselves and really had a lot of great games on. They've also had some misses, but overall it's looked like one of their best heroes. And I think that would have been a really nice pairing with the Bat together against the Timber. Instead of that Rubik.
I mean, we have seen Skywrath fail a lot at this tournament just because, well, especially when you pick the two supports early, like the Lion, Skywrath together, that is punishable. If you have like any type of summon hero, which they don't have, they get run over. Like there's a Lycan in this game or a Beastmaster or whoever.
Very true.
But
I guess they felt confident with that after Bat was picked, but I mean, for EG, that Bat could have absolutely been mid, and Whisper could have played an off lane, but I don't know if Whisper plays Lycan, actually. Maybe that's like a little bit of a hole in their hero pool that Gaimin are taking advantage of. But you're absolutely right. The Sky and Lion have overlapping weaknesses.
I mean, even a Brood. I don't know if that was banned, but like C-Smile can play that mid, right?
Absolutely.
I'd have to go back and see what the bans were, though.
There's definitely different options, and those are not even the only ones that we've just mentioned, but definitely goes to show that EG might have not taken the right approach to this game in terms of draft. I think they put a lot of pressure on Whisper to really snowball the game as that, and you can't reliably do that against these heroes, I would say. They had to have an outstanding performance.
Yep, hard mode activated for EG.
It's time for Dyrachyo to go for it.
They not only are they against the Morphling, but he's not only top net worth, he's top net worth by a sizable margin. And when that's the case at this, I mean, the literal 5k difference between him and anyone on EG. Very, very difficult. They are draining his mana with each successive swashbuckle. But okay. For pops the BKB. That's the Lotus reflect. Whisper's ult, so that's going to come to nothing. But can they burst through Dyrachyo to get this Aegis? C-Smile. He's going to get ulted by the Sonic Wave and then the finger right after. That feels just awful.
I love that play from Dyrachyo. I feel like so few players would make that call there. He literally just walks into them on 20% health just to tank spells. Like, he just ran in front of them to provide a wall for his teammate that was in danger, because he has the Aegis and it's expendable, and ends up tanking Chakram from the Rubik, ends up preventing them from connecting on the kill, and then C-Smile is stranded and gets taken out. Just beautiful. He's really willing to go in for his buddy there.
Yeah, Stellar gets the opening.
Turn here with Ace.
Yeah, Panda looks to be dead, does get up a telekinesis and a quick chakram, but Dyrachyo lives through it quite easily.
And now Meth in trouble.
He's looking for a potential chrono. Into what? I don't know. We'll find out. Dyrachyo, I mean, EG are wasting Gaimin's time a bit. Right now, you could be going for these objectives. They had an opportunity to go for EG's Tormentor as well a while ago. But they'll settle for the tier 2 mid. As Dyrachyo still with a good amount of time left on that Aegis. Over 2 minutes still. As the swashes continue in, but the Hex initiation onto Bakaz. Mystic Flare, it's enough. Again, they're just showing how much burst they have as Whisper gets off the lasso onto this annoying-ass Tofu Skywrath. And C-Smile, you can see, that's the only hero he cares about. He's gotten them killed many a time. That's Stellar. Okay, he's going to find him with the swashbuckle as well. So both supports for Gaimin are dead. How much will that matter? Panda comes back into the fight and dies again as the tier 2 finally goes down. Okay, well, maybe not. Very stubborn tier 2 tower. Oh, the Force Staff Matthew assassinating the courier.
That was going to be an Oxarine.
Yeah, he's very upset about it.
Oh, reflected track.
Okay,
give me the money.
Delicious.
Yeah, that's bonus gold for Timber because he's the one casting the track.
Well, your team gets it too, though, right?
Yeah, but you get more,
yeah.
right? Am I going through a time machine here? I mean, Bounty gets more, right?
I think so.
Yeah, he gets way more.
I think it was always like that, though, isn't it?
The track has had many different variations over the years, but on level 1 track, you get 130 and your teammates get 40 each. Ace with a nice bounty there.
Okay, well, only 40 seconds left on the Aegis. I don't think there's much more that Gaimin Gladiators can take with it. Dyrachyo gonna farm the enemy triangle, although there's a smoke here from EG, and the finger into adaptive deletes Matthews, so no track kills are coming for EG. They just shut down that 5-man smoke with 2 members without breaking a sweat.
We haven't really talked about this in this game, but Celery got a pretty fast Blink Dagger on the 5 Lion, and it's really been instrumental in a lot of these moves they've found. He's just been very, very aggressive, very confident in going in front, knowing that his cores can follow up really easily. And you see, this is faster than the patch average, and this is a 5. So that makes it even more impressive, because a lot of the games that you're seeing here have been played by a 4 Lion. This game has been outstanding, and a lot of it comes down to the 3 or 4 or even 5 kills they found on Bounty Hunter early game with Sentry Rewards. He's involved in a lot of those, and I think he got the killing blow on 1 or 2 of them, so that will make for a pretty quick blink. Whisper frontlining. Yeah. Something. We'll find it.
Is the lasso onto Tofu. He's gonna get lifted into the right click of Matthew. He does go down, but a nice double impale into the double sonic wave. Bounty is dead, so it's a 1-for-1. Duracio's coming though. Turns into Void, gets the time dilation off into the waveform, pops the Manta as well. Because with the BKB, obviously still has the Chrono. I haven't really cast it in a while, but we've mentioned the reasons why.
And they've got to be careful when Duracio turns into the Void, because he can time walk through them and bash them already.
Oh yeah, with the Ag.
It is pretty nutty. Like that. Oh my god.
Right on cue. And his Scotty is being delivered. He is at 18.6k net worth at 28 minutes.
Yeah.
That's really good. And now he's going to go for raw DPS. Tormentor still standing there. Someone could get it. It's almost a disadvantage to the team winning because they never go for their Tormentor. Just sitting there. GG. Hearing my cries will give Panda his shard.
They're gonna
So they have a nice save.
Save telekinesis, which is very nice against Skywrath and Lion. If you're fast enough, if you're in range, you can get people out of the combo, get them away when they're hexed.
Yeah, they definitely won the 50-50 on that shard. I think Bounties,
not nearly.
even though it in theory could be cool, it's been very underwhelming in basically every pickup we've seen. And for the other side, Gaimin, so it's between Lion and Skywrath. So you get the tankiness if Skywrath gets it, and you get the mana drain talent, or not talent, he's an old talent, kind of, right? Isn't it like a 20 talent or something before?
The mana drain magic immunity?
No, not that. Doesn't it do multiple targets as well?
Yeah, I think the multi-target was a talent, but the immunity definitely was not at that time.
And that one, not particularly great. There's not really any illusions.
Oh.
Accelerate, finding himself a bounty hunter. Somebody's coming through the gate. Oh, it's Duracio. Like a free kill? Would you?
Oh, he's making them work for it.
You like free kills? Good. Oh! Sounds like Caps casting an SPG the other day.
Well, what does EG do? I feel like this has been... Oh, gonna drain some mana into the morph. Very nice there. That's 15 talent.
Master added again. Master. No, that's Pugna. Got the new voice for Lion.
Yes, Master.
Okay. We could do...
Yes, Master.
That's more Peon, actually.
Well, Lion could pass as an orc, I suppose.
Yeah, he is really ugly.
It's
that's
not.
true.
It's not too. Oh, that's uncalled for.
He has a face only a mother could love.
Oh, really makes you wonder who gave birth to Lion, doesn't it?
That's true.
What do you do as EG here is my question. Like you're kind of low on damage. I think that's really the biggest issue is you have spells that can lock down the enemy team. You have ways of finding them with the bat and the bounty. You can catch and set things up, but even double smoke, a little bit of a characteristic mistake at this level.
How did they double smoke?
Two separate people smoked at the same
time. Yeah, but isn't that a new thing they added?
Oh, I think you're right, actually. But
are you sure? I didn't see two. I just assumed you're correct.
I mean, I guess if you use them close enough to each other, time-wise, you still can get unlucky.
Right, Rolling Thunder on cooldown.
But yeah, they have the catch, but can they kill the heroes? Look at Ace. He just doesn't care.
Yeah.
Like,
why would he?
He's like, I dare you.
There's a bounty hunter here. Does he live?
Oh, his target is... Oh, okay.
Oh my goodness. What is Pakaz doing there?
What?
I mean, when you're behind like this, you do need to take risks, but you literally just saw them there.
That isn't... Whoa. I can't believe he was out there. And he got caught off guard by Quinn's Hex as well. Maybe he wasn't accounting for that. Maybe he knew something about Lion's position or whatever. Felt safe, but...
Yeah, 45 seconds. No buyback. Double impale, but there's a counter initiation onto Celery. The load is now applied, though. Looks like he's going to live through it. Nope, the Swashbuckle does delete him. He's going to buy back in the game. He wants to finish this now, as Duracio is very, very deep. Not going to go any further with those illusions.
And they need him to hit the tower here, so this push is meaningful. So
he's the only one that can do that.
Yeah. Life stealing a decent amount off the wave. Quinn with the Hex, not too impactful.
Dire's middle
trying to target this melee Rax with 10 more seconds on Pakaz, but They will play it safe. That is the second fortification. So, yeah, that is true.
I love the Hex on Quinn here. I think a lot of Queens we've seen have really prioritized getting more and more damage. Quinn bypassed the Witchblade this game that we've mainly seen Quops get, and instead he opted for the BKB so he can stand his ground better and has a solution for the time dilation, which is usually a huge thorn in Quops' side. And then he's itemized the Hex. He knows the team has enough damage. We've seen plenty of examples of that all game, so he doesn't need to worry about that. And he's working as like a pseudo-engage, actually. He's just blinking into the enemy team with BKB on, hexing someone, and then they can follow through. So I really like that he's taking that role up on himself in this game.
They're running in circles.
Shiva's guarding up the Timber.
Both teams fully smoked. I mean, theoretically, they can steal Roche. But you can see Gaimin now on the way back. Approaching the Roche off from opposite sides now as Tofu Smoke does pop, so they know that they're up there. Ancient Seal forces Bounty back. See Smile already with the Rolling Thunder is going to catch Tofu, who gets Force Staff to safety. That's a big ult that is down. Does get a couple stuns, but nobody is near him, and now he's just going to get silenced and kill him. I mean, that's the one thing that you can't do as a Pango. You can Ancient Seal him during Rolling Thunder, and then when he's out of it, he's silenced. He can't do anything without a Dispel. And EG get punished. Can they get more? Pakaz gets hexed, and now they're targeting him with every ult at their disposal. Sonic Wave now onto Whisper. And that is just an ugly engagement for EG.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised to see them call GG here, but they're actually still sticking in there. Pakaz has been hard countered. I think this might be... I was going to say it's his worst game of the tournament, but it's not, because we cast that one. That was his terrible late game where he died 7 times at level 5 or something like that. Absolutely destroyed by PSG LGD in that game, but this one might be the second hardest game he's had. Every time he's looking for anything, just gets caught by a Hex into his talents and gets burst 100-0. EG, their only save is the Rubik Telekinesis, but he wasn't in range. So he's like, I can't believe it. He's just dying every time. I really do like Tofu's room decor, by the way. Very related, of course. I think we've talked about that very much, but...
Yeah, it looks very nice.
It's a nice way for the players to show off a bit of personality that we get access to here, but that wall behind him, or curtain, or whatever it is pretty... It's pretty zen, you know?
I agree. Usually, like with Quinn, it's just like a blank wall. It's like a inside of an asylum. A cell in an asylum.
There's a lot of... he fills up the room with himself, so the room needs to be empty.
Aegis and Cheese there for Gaimin Gladiators. Is that the second?
Hex. No follow-up this time.
That was the second Roche Cinder, or was that the third? It should be the second.
That was the second one. It was the third Roche that would have killed it really early.
Worthy tribute.
Well, Quinn has Aghanim Scepter now.
Yeah, that was the other item he bypassed when he... Wait, oh, he sold his Falcon Blade. That's how he got it. Because he bypassed the early axe, and he bypassed the Witchblade. Go for a different path this game, and it's worked wonderfully. Keep giving Dyrachyo mana with Lion here, counteracting that diffusal pretty nicely, actually.
Yep, very true. As Dyrachyo looking to finish off this tower, as there's no fortification at the moment for EG.
And all you got to do as Gladiators now is to not get fat chronoed, so spread out, keep a good position.
Just throwing everything they can at Dyrachyo. Just with that second life. Very tough. Dyrachyo with the Manta. There's the initiation. Last one, but he gets off the attribute shift in time. Still Lotus of Light. He's still getting quite low. Do they have enough damage? Pakaz not really interested in taking part of this, and Dyrachyo just casually waveforms back. Now the Hex onto Pakaz.
Holy.
He time walks most of it off.
That was like one silence and Timber saw spells and a little residual damage. There was no Skywrath ult, no finger there. Absolutely killable.
Dyrachyo
doing a little bit of inventory magic. Yep. Very fine.
Morphling special.
is offering himself up, but he has Lotus and Cheese, so they have to kill him in Chrono. Basically the only way they deal with this guy, now that they don't have Lasso. Horatio.
Yeah, he wants to get the time dilation off. Waveform's back towards the buildings. There's the Lasso initiation onto Ace, but he actually eats the Cheese really early. Either way, he's going to live. Back row protection kicks in temporarily. This is going to be a second barracks for Gaimin. Eventually, we're going to have to see this Chronosphere, but I'm sure Pakaz doesn't want to use it until that Aegis is gone. Just for a last-ditch effort, but that's 2 barracks. They still have 1:30 to go. Yep, there.
Oh, the combo.
There it is.
I think I asked this question if that would work with the talent, and it does. I asked that the other day, if you life drain or mana drain an ally, if the multi-shot from Shard can still hit enemies, and it can.
Huh.
So, effectively able to freely drain Dyrachyo, because he's also draining the range creeps at the same time.
That's pretty cool. I just complimented Lion. Take that back. Heart now on Ace.
Yeah, he is big.
Good luck killing him. 4,500 HP.
140 regen.
Yeah, 60 armor. Only 60, huh?
Could be worse. Oh, wait, no, it couldn't.
Been seeing Timbersaws not really go for Ag since it's dispellable for some reason. People gave up on that one. Their 3 tower down. And I think EG still 30 seconds. Can they delay this or just take out the Aegis finally? As there's the Lasso onto Stellar. He gets bursted down. No buyback. So he cannot rejoin this fight.
Pakaz has used the BKB though a little bit early. He's being left vulnerable soon.
Yep, Dyrachyo still. Oh, there's only 10 seconds left on the Aegis. So this could be a good time for EG to go in. The chrono on him right now might be worth it. Pakaz gets silenced up and bursted to the ground. Not a chance to do anything.
Yeah, you need your
GG's
BKB
called.
there. He just gets blink silenced by the Queen of Pain Shard and bursted in half a second. Gaimin Gladiators. Beautiful game, really.
That young man died at the beginning of the game.
Yeah.
And then beat everybody by himself. Nobody else was in the game, Cinderin.